Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a 2 looks in 1 type of thing, you know, kind of similar to what I did with the Jaclyn Hill Vault Collection palettes. I asked you guys if you wanted to see either a tutorial and wear test or 2 looks in 1 using the brand new E.L.F. Opposites Attract palette, you guys. This palette is so beautiful. Look at this. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to do 2 looks as well because there are just so many options. I would have had a hard time creating just 1 look, you know what I mean? So I think what I'm gonna do is create a look with the warm tones and then a look with the more cool tones. You know what I mean? I might crisscross a little bit. We'll have to see, but that's kind of the idea of this whole palette. Opposites attract. There's warm tones, there's cool tones, and even the names of these shadows are kind of opposite. Like the warm tones are like daring, warm, sassy, spicy, and then on the cool side, it's like low-key, calm, chill, wise, and easygoing. So I think that's kind of a really cute concept. You guys, this was $14, which I think is a great price, not only for the amount of shadows that you get in here, but for the color range. I think the colors are very unique and very different. So I placed an order on e.l.f.com when this launched, and I also picked up some of the new e.l.f. Sheer Matte Liquid Lipsticks, so I'm going to be testing some of those out. I picked up a blush. This is the primer infused blush. And then I also picked up the lip gloss from Alyssa Ashley and e.l.f., the collab that they did, and I'm so excited to try this. I know this isn't like a new product, but I haven't tried it, so I'm very excited. Also, this is going to be all drugstore. I'm going to be using all affordable products. It'll mostly be focused on the eye looks though, so if you're curious to know in depth or in detail the other products that I'm going to use, I will have everything linked down below for you guys. So let's get right into it. Here is the first before and after of look 1 so that you guys can kind of tell what exactly we're getting into. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to prep the eyes first, and I'm going to be using the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Concealers, and I think I'm going to use the shade W12 Fair, and I'm just going to kind of prep the eyelids with this concealer. I'm just going to pat that out with my Flower Beauty sponge. Also, since there were a fair share of you guys who wanted to see a wear test, I think I'll just leave like a note in the description box, kind of letting you know how it wore. The thing is, I don't know how many hours I'll be able to wear like the second look, but I will definitely leave notes for you guys down below and give you a little wear test update for those of you who really wanted to kind of know how these shadows are going to wear. I'm going to take my Rimmel Stay Matte Translucent Powder, and I'm just going to press that over top of the concealer to set it and prep it for the eyeshadow. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm obsessed with these like mustard yellows on the warm side, so I think I really want to focus the look on those kinds of colors. I don't know. I'm just very inspired by those. So let's see here. I think I want to use Sassy. I'm going to start off with this color right here. It's a gorgeous kind of peachy, which you guys know I love a good peach transition. So let's see how this applies. I'm just moving back and forth in windshield wiper motions, kind of creating a gradient from the crease and then a little bit above once the brush has a little less product on it. I just dipped back in the pan and I am going back and forth again, kind of building that up. This is a beautiful color though. It's so pigmented. I'm just going to do the exact same thing on this eye until they look as similar as possible. Next, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Happy, and I'm actually just taking that same brush and I'm moving this right into the crease. I'm not going to go above so that we can still keep some of that peach shade, but I want some of that mustard in the crease as well. So I'm just applying it right below, kind of blending it a little bit into the existing shade, but mostly keeping it lower than the crease and in the crease a little bit. Next, I'm going to take Saucy, which is this shade right here. It looks kind of similar to Happy in the pan, but I'm hoping that once it's applied to the eyes, it'll be different. Saucy's definitely more of an orange and Happy's more of like a mustard. They're both similar though. I'm just going to take Saucy and apply this with a flat brush to the lid. This color literally reminds me of Kraft mac and cheese. Like it's the exact color as the cheese powder. So I'm just building this up, kind of letting it blend into the other yellow tone we had in the crease. These are such unique colors. I'm really inspired by this palette already, and it looks beautiful so far. Everything's blending together really nicely. I'm really wanting these mustard and orangey tones to be the star of the show. So I'm like building up quite a bit on the lid with this color. I'm going back into Sassy, which was that peach shade we were using before, and I'm just gonna kind of touch up the transition area, making sure we don't lose some of that peach because I want that still up in the crease and transition area, but I feel like we lost a little bit of it applying all those mustard tones. I'm kind of letting whatever's left on the brush go into this inner corner here so that we get a little bit of that peach shade kind of in this area. I don't know. I just think that's kind of pretty, so we're going with it. All right, let's add some depth. Let's take this warm brown shade called Warm. I tapped off the extra because I really want to work this into the crease, because ideally I would like it to be really soft but still add definition. So I'm just kind of running this across the lash line first and then blending it into the crease a little bit, just on like this outer V here. So I'm just adding this and building it up. I am bringing it a little bit into the crease, more than I initially planned to, just because I'm starting to like how that looks. But I'm starting with most of the product here, and then once the brush kind of gets a little bit less product on it, I just lightly drag it into the crease a little bit more. Something like that. These tones are so perfect for fall. I'm loving it. All right, I'm going back into the macaroni and cheese shade called Saucy, and I'm adding more of that kind of on the lid, blending over the brown. I really want that to be the main focus. I was going to maybe use shimmers on the eyes, but I'm really liking this all matte kind of look, so I think I'm gonna leave it. So next I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and wipe away any fallout that we had, as well as clean up the edges. Honestly, there wasn't too much fallout. It got a little dusty in the pan, but the fallout underneath my eyes isn't bad at all. I'm just gonna take my finger and kind of pat out the edges, just to kind of soften them and blend them into the skin. So for complexion products and things like that, I'm just gonna kind of speed through the ones that I already have, and then the ones that, you know, I still have to try, we'll kind of sit down and talk a little bit longer about them. I'm gonna go into my Maybelline Dream Cushion Fresh Face Liquid On The Go Foundation, which I think is probably my current favorite. I don't know, there's a couple at the drugstore that I'm loving right now, but this is definitely in like my top 3. You guys told me to flip the cushion over, so I'm doing it because I felt like I was running out of product. Oh my gosh, look at all the product that's still in there. So I just turned the cushion over for more foundation. Yay! Oh my gosh, so much more product is in here. That's amazing. Okay, well, I'm just taking this on a brush, kind of smoothing it all over the face. I'm just kind of building up coverage with the brush, and then I'm going to take my Flower Beauty sponge, just get a little bit of product on the sponge itself, and then I'm going to add this over top so we get a nice finish. When I use a brush, I get the coverage, and then I put the sponge over it, and you get that gorgeous skin-like finish. So I usually like to use both a brush and a sponge when I apply my foundations. I just feel like that's how it looks best. At least for me, who likes both the coverage and a dewy finish. I'm going to take that same exact True Match concealer from L'Oreal, and we are going to use this underneath the eyes, and it will brighten up the center of the face as well, maybe around the nose a little bit. And then I'm going to blend that out with a Flower Beauty sponge. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I did do my brows off camera. That's the only thing that is not drugstore. I used the Benefit Precisely My Brow on this half, and the MAC Shape and Shade felt pen for the hair-like strokes in the center. I'm going to be taking the No. 7 Translucent Perfect Light powder. I'm just going to be taking some in the cap, and I'm going to use this to set the under eye area as well as the rest of the face. All right, we're going to move back into eyes now. I'm going to take Sassy, which was that peach shade, and I'm just going to take this on a blending brush and pinch it and just kind of run this on the lower lash line. And I'm running it pretty low and then connecting it with the existing shades right here. Then I'm going to go into Saucy, which was that main shade that we have on the lid, with the same brush, tapping off the extra really quick, and then applying it kind of in the inner third. Maybe like inner half. I stop like right about here. You see that? No, I lied. I'm bringing it pretty much across the entire lower lash line. I'm obsessed with this color. It's so good. And then I'm going to take the brown shade called Warm, which is this one that we used here. And I'm just wanting to kind of mimic that on the very outer third of the lower lash line, connecting it to the existing ones up here. I'm going to take the brush that we used for the transition shade up here and just kind of buff out this lower lash line. I didn't add any extra product to it. I just really want to make sure this is nice and blended. All right, now let's do mascara. This is where, you know, the look really comes together. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara, and I want this to be pretty lashy because we have all the mattes going on. I really want the lashes to be like, well, bam. You know, especially since we're using all matte eyeshadows too. I just think that contrast will be really pretty. Dang it. What in the world? All right, I'm just gonna apply mascara really quickly, and I'm gonna be really generous going from root to tip. Aha, see, I just let that piece of mascara dry and it came right off. Just making sure there's no mascara marks left up here. Yes, I feel like when I put mascara on, that's when the whole thing just like starts going somewhere, you know? I love it. Let's bronze up the skin really quickly. I'm gonna be using the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Blends Natural Radiance Bronzer. I just kind of want like an all-over glow. So I'm just gonna take a fluffy brush and kind of add this to the perimeters of the face into the hairline as always and on the forehead. I'm going to take what's left on the brush and just kind of pat it across the nose. And then take some down the neck as well. Alright, here's where we get to try out the E.L.F. Primer Infused Always Cheeky Blush. I think Always Cheeky is the shade. I'm so excited to try this. I love blush. That is so pretty. It looks a little bit washed out from my lights. It's definitely like more peachy pink in person. Alright, I'm going to take a blush brush and dip into this. Tap off the extra and apply this to the cheeks. Ooh, that's so pretty. I love how it's matte. There's like no shimmer to it, which I really like. I'm also going to take this across the nose a little bit. I think that's really pretty. I like this blush. So a bunch of other products came with my order. There was like a free bundle that came with an order of $25 or more. And this E.L.F. Baked Highlighter and Blush came with it. I've heard good things about the highlighters from E.L.F., the baked highlighters, but I've heard that you have to kind of like get through the first layer before it gets any good. So I'm going to see if that's the case. I'm going to try to kind of scratch off the top a little bit, get a lot of product onto my brush. And let's just apply this to the cheeks. Hey, not too shabby. I'm just going to put it on the high points, like around the brow here. Take some down the center of the nose, Cupid's bow. And then I want to take this and kind of put it in the inner corner of the eye. That's just what I typically do. I know this look is matte, but there wasn't a matte shade in the palette that was light enough to highlight the inner corner. So I'm just going to use this. I think that's pretty. And then I'll pop some right underneath the brow. All right, let's wipe off any foundation that's on the lips. So these sheer matte lipsticks, I think I want to try this one with it. Let's try this first. This is in the shade Warm Verbena. I'm excited to see like what this looks like. Yeah, I think this will be a pretty color. All right, let's see how this looks. Yeah, it's definitely much more sheer than most liquid lipsticks, but I kind of think that's pretty. I'm just taking my finger and kind of blending out the edges. It's definitely more of like a lip stain almost. I'm trying to let it dry down a little bit so that we can really see what the finish is like and how it feels. But I do think it's pretty. What do you guys think? It kind of just looks like my lips, but like tinted a little bit, you know? I'm gonna quickly brush up my brows. And I'm wondering if we should apply the gloss with this. I kind of like the all matte vibes, but I feel like maybe we should add a little gloss, you know, just so we can try this one. So this is again the Alyssa Ashley times E.L.F. gloss in the shade Nude Rose. The packaging on this is beautiful. It has a rose gold cap. It smells really good. All right, let's apply this on top. All right, so here's what it looks like with the gloss on top. I think it's a beautiful gloss. I just personally feel like I liked it better before, so I might remove it and apply the sheer matte again, just so we get like the final look, you know? But that gloss is so pretty. I just don't think it's what I want with the rest of the look right now. With these, I feel like it really does help to use your finger to just kind of get rid of any harsh edges and blend it out a little more. All right, so I think that everything is good. I actually don't know if I need to add too much more. I just kind of touched up bronzer in my hairline like usual. And then I kind of want to just melt the products all together. You could use a setting spray if you want to just kind of leave it like this, but because I'm going to be removing it, I'm just going to use something to smooth it over. If you wanted to set it, you could use the Flower Beauty Seal the Deal setting spray. I've been loving this one, but I'm just going to go ahead and use the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, herbs, and rose water. Take my fan, pat down any peach fuzz. So there you have it. There's look number 1 using the Opposites Attract palette. I'm really happy with how this turned out. If you want to see the second look, just keep watching, and then at the end, I'll just kind of share with you my first impressions and thoughts about this palette. So let's get into the second look. Alright, so look number 2, this is what it's going to be like from before and after, so you guys can get an idea of what's going down. So this time I've already done the concealer and powder on my eyelids. I use the exact same products as I did with the last makeup tutorial, so again, everything will be linked down below if you want to see it. This is where we get to play with some of the cool tones. So I think I'm going to start with the shade Witty, which is this gorgeous kind of taupey cool tone brown. Let's just start with this in the crease. Warm tones are my comfort zone, I'll be honest. I don't really use cool tone colors too often, so this will be really fun and really interesting. We'll see how it all turns out. I'm just dusting this through the crease and then a little bit above. I still need to blend out this side a little bit. I'm just kind of going back and forth. I'm not sure if it's because I just cleaned my brush right before I did this, but there's like a solid line. I don't know if this one's blending as well as the peachy sassy shade was. I'm gonna keep working with it. We'll see what we can do, but it's kind of funny. It like is gathering in that crease area. It might have been because I had just cleaned my brush and maybe I didn't wait long enough before it dried. Could be my fault. Hang on though, because it's kind of making me want to do like a cut crease with it. We just might, actually. So I'm just blending that out even more, kind of above the brow as well. Just making sure it's really blended and we have a nice kind of gradient. I don't know why it's like settling so much in the crease, but we're just gonna kind of keep working with it. A lot of you guys said you wanted me to use this green shade called Wise, so I'm gonna dip into that next. And let's just start to apply this on the outer third of the eye. Wow, that is pigmented. And I'm going to start to work that into the crease out here, which it blends over that taupey shade very beautifully. And I really want this to kind of be a focal point on the top lid, so I'm going to keep patting on that color. It's a gorgeous like forest green blue. It almost has a little bit of a blue shift to it, which I think is pretty. Making sure to blend it out this direction, and we'll do the same thing on the other eye to just kind of catch up. Since this is the Opposites Attract palette, I feel like, you know, the warm tone look that we did was a little bit more wearable and everyday. I mean, this one will be wearable too. I always like to make it wearable, but this one to me is cool toned and maybe it's more like evening. You know what I mean? It's kind of fun. So I'm taking what's left on the brush and just taking a little bit of that into this inner corner here because I think I am going to do a cut crease. That was not originally the plan. We're just kind of winging it though, and that's what I feel like doing. I'm going to take the brush that we used with the taupe shade and just kind of brush it over top of the green in the crease so that it's nice and seamless. And I'm actually going to add even more of that taupey shade called Witty just out here. Oh, I feel like I added too much. Anytime you do that, just take a clean brush with nothing on it and dust over, and you can kind of fade that out. Let's take concealer and do a cut crease. I'm going to take some of that same L'Oreal True Match concealer. Sorry about the click sound, it's so loud. And I'm going to put some of that on the back of my hand. This one is the Lamora small shader brush. This will work perfectly. And let's see what we can do here. I'm going to put some concealer on, open my eyes to stamp it, and then start to kind of carve out the crease a little bit. Try to do the same thing on this eye. Well, it's not perfect, but we're going with it. I'm going to go into the shade Clever right here, which is a pretty kind of cool toned lavender almost. And I'm going to pop this kind of on the center of the lid, right on top of that concealer. And I'm going about halfway because I want this inner corner to maybe be something else. But I'm making sure to really cover up any of the concealer that we laid down on the outer edge. And then I need to go back into that green shade called Wise and kind of add back in some of that color, blending it into the purple shimmer shade just to make that as seamless as possible. We're going to see how this looks. I'm going to take this shade called Low Key. It's a shimmery white with like a pink duochrome. So I'm going to start to apply it like pretty close to the inner corner because I'm not sure how far in I want to drag it yet. Ooh, that is a fun shade. Okay, yeah. I'm going to bring it in and kind of meet the other shade right here. That is such a fun shade. Now that we have that on, I'm going to take the same brush that we were using for the purple shimmer shade called Clever, and I want this to kind of be a little more prominent on the lid, so I'm bringing it in further than I did before, just layering it right over top of the white shadow I just applied. This is all about just like layering, so I'm going back into the green, and I really want this to be still kind of like a statement on this outer corner here. So I'm adding more. I'm going to take this shade right here called Genuine, which I think is just like a really deep kind of charcoal color, and I'm just going to stamp this on the very outer corner of the eye just to bring that depth into the very, very corner. I'm not using very much at all of that shade. Just like that. All right, let's clean up the fallout under the eyes. I'm just going to be using a makeup wipe, and I'm going to make sure to clean up this edge here as well. All right, I am going to line the top lash line. I need a liquid liner, I feel like. So this one is from Tarte. I've yet to find a drugstore liquid liner that doesn't really smudge. And if I have found one, I think actually, now that I think about it, I think there was one that I really liked, but I don't have it in my collection. So you could use any sort of black liner. I'm just creating a nice thin line from inner corner to outer corner. And I am bringing it out slightly. I'm just going to do the slightest wing. I don't want anything too crazy. All right, I'm going to apply mascara to the top lashes right now just to kind of get an idea for how this look is going. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the same one that I used in the last tutorial. It's the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. So I'm just going to apply 2 to 3 coats of this. I'm going to be really generous with this mascara again. All right, so I just applied mascara, and I really like how this is turning out. I feel like it will all come together in the end especially. I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same things that I did with the complexion for the last tutorial. Again, all the products will be linked down below. So I'm going to do a little bit of the complexion, and I'll be right back to finish up the eye look. All right, so I just applied foundation, concealer, and powder, and now we're ready to go ahead and finish up the lower lash line. This is where I've been thinking. I think I want to use a little bit of a more bold shade. I don't know. I'm kind of into this easygoing purple matte eyeshadow. It's really bright, so I don't know how it's gonna look with like a cut crease on the top. We're just gonna try it, and I hope I don't hate it. We'll see. Okay, let's take some of that shade on a smaller brush. I tapped off the extra, and then I'm just pinching the brush, kind of smudging it along the lower lash line. I'm gonna wipe off the extra on that brush. Kind of go over it again. So it's not as bright as it looks in the pan. I still feel like it works though with this look. So we're just gonna go with it. Just doing the same thing on this eye and making sure to connect it to the green out in this outer corner here. I'm gonna take a clean brush again and just kind of smudge out the edges underneath. I'm just gonna take some of the green shade again, and I am going to apply a little bit of this on the lower lash line, just on the outer corner, kind of connecting it the existing shadows, and I went in like about a third of the way. I'm taking some of the white shade called Low Key and just kind of smudging it in this inner corner here. I really like the duochrome shift that this gives. I'm just going to switch brushes really quick and pop this in the inner corner as well. And then take what's left and just put it right underneath the brow bone. I'm taking the brush that we used for the gray shade in the crease. I didn't add any more to it, and I'm just kind of blending these edges here with that. All right, let's apply mascara to the lower lashes. I'm not going to go as heavy as I did on the top lashes with this look, just so we can keep most of the weight on the top lid. So I just kind of defined the lower lashes a little bit. Let's add warmth to the skin. I'm going to go back into that Neutrogena Healthy Skin bronzer and just kind of sweep it across the whole face, just like we did with the other look. Kind of along the cheeks, hairline, jawline, and down the neck. I'm going to take what's left on the brush and just kind of run it down the sides of my nose and underneath and a little under my lip, just to slightly kind of define those. I'm going to be using that same E.L.F. blush in the shade Always Cheeky, which I think is so pretty, so let's see. Just going to pop that on the apples of the cheeks. This is adding some life back into the face after using those cool tones on the eyes. I'm going to take some across the nose again. And let's go into that same baked highlighter from E.L.F. I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to the high points of the face, around the brow, a little on the forehead. Sometimes I like to like smile and put it on the apples of the cheeks a little bit more. Cupid's bow, down the center of the nose. And I am going to dust a little bit underneath the brow just to kind of soften that pink hue, because that duochrome shade looks a little bit kind of too pink for my preference underneath the brow. I might take a smaller brush with the highlight and just kind of try to get rid of that a little bit. All right, let's take the makeup wipe and wipe off any foundation on the lips. So I picked up 2 other shades of the Sheer Matte Liquid lipsticks. And let's see here. I might have to like swatch both of them so we can really see what color would be better. I feel like a very nude lip would be beautiful with this look. So we might not use these at all. We'll see. Okay, that one's pretty. That one could work. Nude Rose and Praline Petal. Praline Petal is the darker one. Nude Rose is the lighter one. Can't hurt to try it. I think I want to try something lighter. So let's try the Nude Rose. I'm just going to pat this in with my finger again. I can't tell if I love this or hate it. I don't hate it. That's a strong word to use. I think I do like it. I think I like that. Yeah, I think it kind of ties in the pink duochrome a little bit, kind of softens the eye look, the cool tones. It brings a little bit of life back into the face. It matches the blush color nicely. So again, that was the shade Nude Rose. I'm just adding a little more blush with whatever was left on the brush. Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, the Lip Plumping Gloss in Champagne Glam. Do we dare try this? Again, I didn't order this. This just came like free with my order. I'm nervous. I don't want to ruin the look. I guess, you know, we could always do what we did last time and wipe off the gloss. It's kind of pretty. Let's see. Well, hey, not too shabby. It says it's plumping. It's starting to tingle. What do you guys think? Did you like it matte or do you like the gloss? I'm kind of into the gloss. I think we'll just leave it. I'm going to go ahead and kind of touch up the brows where needed, brush them up, fill them in if I need to. And then I'm going to just kind of add more bronzer to the forehead, assess the situation as we always do. Okay, this is growing on me. The combo is really growing on me. I wasn't sure about it before, but I think I like it. Now we're going to lock it in with the Seal the Deal setting spray from Flower Beauty. With my fan. And again, press down the peach fuzz. And I forgot to do this in the last look, but I need to set my brows. I'm going to use the Glossier Boy Brow in Blonde. So there you have it, you guys. That's the second look using the E.L.F. Opposites Attract palette. I have to say, I like this more than I thought I was going to. It was really fun for me to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone and use all cool tones with this eye look. There are so many things you could do with this palette, you guys. You could definitely hop back and forth from warm tones and cool tones if you wanted to and create so many more looks. So I hope you enjoyed those two looks. Before we close the video though, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you a few things that I really enjoyed about the palette and then the other E.L.F. products as well. So overall, would I recommend this Opposites Attract palette? Absolutely. I feel like it was beautiful to work with. I loved both looks that I created. It's nothing like what I own. Like, I don't have a palette like this. I think they did an incredible job creating something unique and different that stands out, even compared to some high-end palettes that I've seen launch. I feel like this one is exciting. It inspires me. It makes me want to create. And the fact that it's from E.L.F., it's very affordable, and it's high quality is just so great. So if you see this at your local drugstore, I would definitely pick it up. I will also link the online link down below if you want to buy it online, but I had so much fun playing with this today, so I would definitely recommend this. The Sheer Matte Liquid Lipsticks, I actually really like the finish of it, and I like how it kind of gives you a nice, like, your lips but better tinted kind of effect on your lips. I think they're beautiful, and I'm excited to continue to wear them. I also really liked how it looked with gloss over top, so I think they're very versatile. Again, very affordable. I really, really like those, and I'm excited to keep playing with them. I need to play around with the E.L.F. and Alyssa Ashley gloss more because I felt like it didn't really pair well with the looks I was trying to go for today, but I'm excited to use it in another tutorial, and I'll kind of update you guys on how I feel about it. It's a beautiful color. I just feel like I didn't get to showcase it very much in this video. The blush is so pretty. There are more shades, and I'm excited to go pick up more. I'm curious to see how this wears on the face, so again, I'll kind of give you guys an update down below as far as how the shadows wore and the blush and everything like that. I'll give you a little update for sure. The highlighter in this I think was beautiful. Once I kind of really dug into it and got a lot of product on there, I feel like it was really nice. I have yet to try out the other side, the blush side. So I will try to update you guys on that. But I liked the baked highlighter, and I feel like this is a cute little product. So that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoy seeing these 2-in-1 type of videos or 3-in-1, just like multiple eyeshadow looks in one video when a new eyeshadow palette comes out. Let me know if you guys like that, because I could definitely keep doing that with eyeshadow palettes that you guys want me to review instead of just doing one look. I feel like that's a good way to kind of give you a couple options with one palette, because obviously there's more than one look that you can do with every single palette that you own. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. I love you all so much. Thank you for always coming back and watching my videos. If you haven't joined the family yet, please do so by hitting the subscribe button. I would love to have you guys on board. And if you want to be a part of the notification squad, just click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll be notified every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday when I upload my videos. Go pick up this palette if you haven't yet. It would be $14 well spent. And I will see you all in my next video. Love you. Bye!